Hey, hey, and happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Like that really affected your headset there. I could see. Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in to 98.3 FM The Life. You're listening to Bacon Bits with Master Happiness. I'm your host, Marty Jalove, and I come at you every single Monday night here at 7 o'clock to talk about your job, your career, your vision made clearer, the skills that you hone for the business that you own, the ups and downs, the smiles and frowns, where you're at and where you're bound. And if you miss any part of today's episode, just tune in a little later in the week, anywhere you listen to podcasts, and you'll be able to hear the recording. My headset's a little low. There we go. Now it's good. Now it sounds like I'm on the air. Anyway, I'm always on a quest to bring you the industry best, some really super special guests. And although I've said it in the past that I've had some great guests, but there is truly no greater guest than the one that I have here today. My absolutely wonderful, beautiful, incredible, fantastic, supporting wife, Kristi Jalove. Kristi, say hello to the world.
Hello, world.
Oh, everyone loves that line. Excellent, excellent. So, Kristi, I'm going to say what I ended up doing was I had a different program set up today, and I'm going to postpone that one for a different day. What we're going to be talking about was Aristotle's three types of friends, the idea of a utility friend, pleasure friends, and virtue friends. And, this was something really important to me. And I was going to have two other people here. I was going to have my brother and sister on the show to talk about friends because family can be friends as well. And then what happened is something happened. They had to back out. And Kristi, like she always does, always saves the day, comes to me and says, "Here, I'll come and do the show. This is really cool." And as we were going through it, I was like going, it doesn't have the same feel, although she's a wonderful friend of mine, okay, as well as a wonderful, incredible wife. There's something more. So I said, I want to switch up the show. And so today we're going to be talking about Epicureanism. And what was great when I pitched it to her, she was like, "Really? You have to throw something my direction that I don't know what you're talking about just yet." But she does know exactly what I'm talking about. This is something that we will have conversations about. And she might say sometimes, "No, that's not how I lead my life," but she truly is one of those people who is always on a search for happiness and is always providing happiness or opening up avenues to happiness for the people around her. And so she means something so much to me. And I think that this was an apropos conversation to have with her. So I think it was Epicurus, who was the predecessor to Stoicism. And we've talked a lot about Stoicism on the show. And again, we've talked a lot about Aristotle on the show. These are philosophers who are kind of near and dear to my heart because they did a lot of conversations about how to get to happiness, how to find happiness, how to define happiness. And I thought this was really great to do this. And obviously, we're going to go through the whole thing. We're going to have some bacon today as well. But I wanted to break this down. And one of the things I wanted to just start off right away is Epicurus. He talked with people in a different area, right? Most people would talk on the steps of the Colosseum or something like that. They would get people together in courtyards and something like that. But what he did was he met in a garden. Okay, because what he wanted to do is point out to people that how simple nature was and how we should not take those kind of things for granted, how beautiful it was and how peaceful it was, as opposed to being in the hustle and bustle of the marketplace and things like that. Just getting back to our roots, literally, by sitting in the garden. And this was another thing that was really neat, is that I love sitting in my living room looking out the patio window at my beautiful wife working in a garden. And many people say, "Well, why don't you get off your ass and go and help her?" And I was like, why would I rob her of the pleasure she is having working in that garden? Right? Because it obviously brings her great joy, just as it brings me great joy watching her do that work. And
I'm
eating
so glad to know that brings you joy.
right. Well, I
Were
get
you
to
watching me yesterday trimming the bushes?
yeah, I was like, "Oh,
sweating,
such a hard, she's such a hard worker." All right.
Yes.
So, and I get to eat the fruit of those bounty.
Yeah.
Okay. So, tell me, I'm going to jump right into this part of it because this is uh, a definition or an exploration towards happiness. So I'm going to throw it to you, Kristi, right away in the beginning and ask you, what kind of joy do you get out of gardening? Okay. And I know your first answer, "I don't get joy out of it at all." You might say that, but please share us.
I think there's several points, and thank you for a question that I could actually answer, because I do want to say, since you gave a big precursor to how the show came to be, that you also gave me extremely little prep on what your points were going to be.
Yes.
Just trust me, you'll be able to talk about this. So thank you for the garden question. I'm hoping that leads to
It's a lot more.
a point
Yes.
in Epicurus philosophy. But I'd say twofold. One, my mom was a really good gardener. And so when I got a house, it was really important to me to like, oh, I should, these are things that I learned from her. And the only things I planted at the very first time I had my own places to plant a garden were things that I knew that she planted. And to this day, I really don't like geraniums because she struggled with geraniums.
Okay.
And like those types, like I did that because I learned it and I liked it. And then I'd say in recent years, I've realized, oh, it can be kind of nice if you grow things that you can eat.
Right.
And I also had a huge garden as a kid growing up. We moved into a house that had an abnormally large garden. We ended up having to scale it down because it was too big to maintain. But that also was something I even though I hated the work that I had to do thinning carrots and weeding green beans, but it was really cool to go out and pick enough food that we made it for dinner,
Right.
and we had these things and we grew pumpkins and things like that. So I'd say recently, probably like 80% of the things that I grow are things that are edible.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Right.
And I try to do something that I know we're going to use. Like I used to try to grow things and they weren't successful and we didn't use them. And that's kind of a waste too. So it's about having something useful. I think a lot of things I do make this useful. So
right.
Yeah.
So what I love about gardening, part of it is that it brings us both joy in different ways. And what I mean by that is I built the raised bed that you grow in. I built the little spice rack thing. What would you call it? That thing that rolls around.
That's a funny name for it, but that's really good. It is a spice rack, but people don't know what in the world we're talking about. But it is a rack that
it's on wheels. It rolls around.
They grow spices. It's a planting bed of 4 levels, very small levels that make it so that the bunnies can't eat.
Right, but it's about 5 feet. It's about 5 feet tall, 4.5 feet.
Taller than me, so I'd say I think it is. Maybe. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. So, So it's for the things that are in there are only the things that the rabbits eat because they can't get into it.
Right. So what I mean is when you look at it, it's I got joy out of building something because I like being creative. I like creating something like that I can get my hands dirty and finish it and walk away and say, there, I built that. And it was great because it had additional utility because it was something that you can then take my creation and take it to the next level and you can find joy in it.
Yeah.
So that simple thing, this first part about Epicurus, that you look at it, that he would get people to meet in the garden just to talk, just even ourselves, the similarity of that is that now we're finding, because it's nice out, it's sunny out, we're both spending a little bit of time drinking coffee out in the sun, out in the backyard, and just enjoying that nature. And you think about it in a lot of ways, that is not necessarily the best part of the day, but it's definitely up there as one of the best parts of the day. Just sitting out there in nature, in our backyard, whether it's my toes playing in the grass or watching you toil in the garden.
Right.
Okay. All right.
As long as it's not 99 degrees.
Exactly. So we just got a couple more days of that. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. So with Epicurus is there's about 5 different things that he would have highlighted are the way to happiness. And he said that the highest good that anyone can do is to find happiness. And I think this is beautiful. And the reason I dwell on this is my company is Master Happiness, right? And I couldn't be successful without this wonderful woman next to me who saw me struggle and pushed me on. She's been the ultimate cheerleader all along, seeing that there was something there and I was the guy who could build it. Like I was going to get my hands dirty and she was like, what do you need me to do? So Epicurus, when you look at it, he kind of broke it down to these 5 things, and I want you to think about this. Is number one, he said freedom from unnecessary fear and anxiety. All right. Now, that's easier to say than to actually do this, because there are things that we're going to get anxious about, things that we don't have control over in the future. There are things that we're going to fear, right? But he said to really try to find happiness, the first thing we want to do is try to find freedom from unnecessary fear and anxiety. The second one is freedom from physical pain, obviously, whenever possible. All right. And it makes a lot of sense. Let's not do something that is going that there's a good chance we're going to get hurt and feel physical pain, right? So that's simple. It makes sense, right? Third is deep friendships. Okay. And this is why I think this is a good conversation to have, as kind of a precursor to that next conversation that we have later on with Aristotle about the levels of friendship, right? The next thing for Epicurus was simple pleasures, is truly understand that. Okay. As we were getting ready for the show, right there on the counter is the bowl of little cherry tomatoes that you grew,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And I'm talking to her, rinsing them off and eating them like popcorn. And it's really, when you think of the whole thing, it's how beautiful is that I built this box, this wooden box above the ground. She put soil in it and sweat and tears and planted, and it grew out to these tomatoes that we can sit there and talk and just enjoy them. And this whole thing, a cherry tomato is such a small little thing that we take for granted, but yet it's a labor of love that together we were able to create something.
Mhm.
And I think it's so beautiful.
Sorry.
Exactly. Right. I love it. I love it. All right. I'm turning her mic off. All right. No. But it's important for us to concentrate on those simple pleasures in life, that we should be able to look at that and go, this is really cool that, you made this, you helped this grow, you nurtured it. Right. And the fifth thing was living wisely, justly, and in moderation. Okay. This idea of too many people are constantly going, I want more. I want more. I want to grow to this. I need this. We look over our shoulder and we see what our neighbors have. And we go, oh, I want that. It's not fair that they have that and I don't have that. I need a new car. I need a better car. I need a better job. Anything like that. All that does is, a lot of people say, well, that drives me to do something. And I got to ask you, if it does, don't do it to become better than them. Do it to become the better version of yourself. Don't do it to outdo them. Congratulate them for what they have and use it as inspiration. But unfortunately, I think most of us feel some type of pain when we look at other people and we say, life is unfair because they have that and I don't. And we look upon it in too negative a way. And so what we first have to do is just be able to sit back and go, but I'm happy with what I have. Look at how lucky I am. This whole idea of leaning towards our gratitude. Okay. So the question here is, or the statement here is, if you want to make a person rich, this is one of these Epicurean statements. If you want to make a person rich, don't give them more money, just reduce their stress. Okay. Or reduce their desires. Okay.
Okay.
Reduce their desires and you become really happy with life. Okay. And I want you to talk a little bit about your past and how you grew and the kind of the things you wanted. And one of the things I brought up on the show before was, I grew up in the city of Chicago, one of 7 kids,
Right.
and we lived in a 3-bedroom apartment, right? And it was the coolest thing when one year finally, because that meant 9 people living in 3 bedrooms, right? My brother and I, we slept in the dining room most of our life, most of our childhood. And it was so cool when the one day my dad enclosed the entire back porch of this 2-flat, and we had only one level, and suddenly turned the back porch into a bedroom. And it was the coolest thing, because it was like me and my brother AJ was like, oh, we got our own bedroom. Right. And it was like the neatest thing, because we don't sleep in the dining room anymore. We got our own bedroom. Right. And the bedroom was connected. There was the back door of the house. So anyone walking in and out of the back door was walking right into our bedroom. It was an open door into the kitchen and a big open window to the kitchen. So it wasn't like we didn't have any privacy or anything.
My dad had that same room. He lived in the city in the same style house as you. I think I've mentioned this, and he too, at one point, spent time in that back porch turned
Right.
into a bedroom.
I love it. I love it. And the point I'm trying to make is I don't share that story for people to go, oh my God, life is so rough. That's terrible. No, because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything we had. I loved the nights where AJ and I would have to move the dining room table, turn the couch into a bed, right? And that's where we slept. And in the morning, put the bed away and move the table back and everything like that. It was just part of our life. And so when suddenly it was like, wow, we get our own bedroom, right? It was really cool. So we learned at an early age to be happy with what we got.
And how do you think you were led to have that philosophy? I mean, I'm guessing you're going to say your parents, because I think that's really like, you don't always give yourself credit for that. That is not easy or just a given. You I think frequently say like, oh, well, you just do this and you're happy. And because it's easy for you. Well, you make it
Easier.
look easy.
All right.
You make it, how about that?
All
I'll
right.
say you make it look easy.
Right.
People might not always see the background, but it is innately. So like what was put in your place, what things were put in place to make you happy? Do you feel like you were all happy, or do you feel like maybe some of your siblings just had a different philosophy on that? Or what was the key there? What are we all missing?
Yes, I guess it's I'm going to flip over from this Greek mythology over to some Eastern philosophy. Did I say Greek mythology? Yes. No, Greek philosophy to Eastern philosophy. Wow. Bruce from the last show got me to say mythology. Anyway, Eastern philosophy, when we talk about like the yin and yang, that we have to say there's show balance, that I can't understand what's beautiful unless I understand what's ugly. I can't understand what's light unless I see what is dark. I can't see happiness unless I know sadness. There's got to be that, because everything's got by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember lots of rough times in our family, a lot of arguing and yelling and stuff like that, and mostly we did not have an abusive childhood, not at all. But it was more of the conversations of just being, why aren't you paying attention in school?
Right.
Okay, that kind of stuff.
Normal. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But what I remember more is the laughing we had, because we had such a big family, because we had less distractions. I mean, I lived in a world where we sat on the front porch because it was so hot inside the house, right? And so we all sat there together. We would turn on the sprinklers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Down the block, they'd open up the fire hydrants and we'd play in the water of the fire hydrant, right?
Right.
Until we got to a point where our neighborhood, like, we got a swimming pool in our backyard, which was the most amazing thing, because nobody ever had a swimming pool. And it was actually, if I remember correctly, it was given to us by one of the rich neighbors who moved to the suburbs and really made it, and they got a swimming pool and then they upgraded to a bigger one. So they gave us the older, smaller one.
Right.
But it was still the coolest thing, because now we had a swimming pool.
Sure.
And so it was the simple pleasures, understanding that you got this, that this was just fun. Enjoy that. And I think between my dad coming home and just saying, hey, this is what I do. I work, I come home, I enjoy life, dinner, I watch a little TV, I go to bed. And he was just like a simple guy, and he seemed content. My mother was always going out of her way, and I could see her in front of people, always talking, laughing, getting people to laugh with her. She was very gregarious in that way. She loved that attention. She loved it standing in front of people. Okay. Yes, indeed. Right. My aunt, who was such a giving person, always coming to us and playing craft night and stuff like that. I feel the kids are robbed today, because I see so often, rather than paying attention to the kids and playing a game with them, people say, here's my phone, play a game, leave me alone. Here's an iPad, play a game, leave me alone, that type of thing. Growing up, on the flip side, it was, if I told my mom, I'm bored, I don't have anything to do, she would just send me outside.
Right.
And she would say, go outside.
I think all of us in our generations will say that
right.
We have a lot more of that. But I think boiling it down, if I were to say, okay, what was your answer to my question of what made it different?
Yeah.
And if there's one thing, and I think you would agree, but don't always boil it down to one thing. And I think it's laughter.
Yeah.
Because you your family may border too far on the silly line at times.
Yes.
But every one of you, even the most serious of you, is born of that laughter, which you
Yes.
do talk about your mom and dad having that, even when your dad was upset or tired or not in the best parenting place.
He loved a good joke. Yeah.
It was laughter.
Yeah.
And even though, like, yeah, we laughed in my family, I don't think that was like a baseline. That was not a core value.
Right. Gotcha.
So I'm going to attribute to your ability to be happy with what you have.
Yes.
Today, we'll attribute it to laughter.
Yeah.
In the simple form.
I will buy that. I'll buy that. And like you had mentioned, my dad, like him doing that same thing. He loved a good joke. And one of the things I always remember, because you just made me really I love doing this show because it brings back such incredibly wonderful memories. Sometimes the show brings back sour memories, but they always have a happy ending. I'm still here. I'm still smiling, right? So it's always going to have a happy ending. But when we slept in the dining room like that, early in the morning, we'd hear my dad's alarm clock would go off because that was the room right next to the dining room. And my brother and I, we would roll out of the bed, and we had a carpet floor with those plastic carpet runners that would lay on the carpet to kind of protect the carpet from the walkway. And we would grab that and flip that over. So the little pointy points, the little plastic teeth, let's say, would be sticking up. And those teeth were made so the runner wouldn't slide on the carpet. And we would flip it over, and my dad would step on it with bare feet, right? And just going, oh, like screaming like that, exaggerating what he felt. And he would make it through all the way across, right? And then he would turn around and he'd flip the thing back over and then go to the bathroom. And we would be laying in bed laughing so hard. And then while he was in the bathroom, we'd go and flip the thing over again, right? And I know now as an adult, I know my dad walked out, knew it was flipped over again, but he would still walk across it and do that whole.
It's a modern day Lego floor.
Yes.
Kids doing Lego.
He did it to make us laugh because he knew that was how he was bringing us joy. And so I agree with you, Kristi. If you were going to sum it all up, it was the commonality of our house revolved around that laughter about let's have fun with it. This is the life we have, and it's a pretty good life. I mean, we never missed a meal. Okay, we had a roof over our head. I got to know my grandparents on my mom's side. I had loving friends. I had loving parents, loving siblings. Okay, and so yeah, it was wonderful. I mean, we were just at baby Joe's birthday party over the weekend.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's sad. My oldest sibling passed away some time ago, but the rest of us, just to see us together and then taking a group shot of the siblings still all being silly.
Yes.
Okay. And
that the youngest is
they go ahead. The youngest is 60. All right. So there you go. So the oldest, I don't know, is 180 or I don't know, whatever. But anyway, that we can still be silly and funny and make fun of each other and just have a good time. I think that's the beauty of the family. And I think this is one of those things that I don't know if any of these Greek philosophers ever said, hey, just laugh at everything, make fun of it because you can't change it. But I think they could have seen the benefits of it.
I mean, all these things that you're saying and of the mini research that I did in this, and really this idea of not being angry or sad or anxious about things that you can't control. So basically having this attitude of like, I can't fix it. Okay, I'm just going to go, which is extremely hard for me to subscribe to. And that is something, I mean, we could talk on that point, but I was trying to get to the core of why you seem to be able to do that. But it isn't an easy or given thing. And that sounds great. Like all of these principles, they are really great on paper. And I can't deny that it sounds like it would be simpler to live that way. But
it's hard.
How?
Okay. So I'll tell you one of the things, and one of the things I guess I can connect it to the best, which you're gonna hopefully you'll understand what I mean, is that
Me or all
all
the
the
world?
people, all the people. But right
Okay.
now, you're here, the
Okay,
only one
okay.
in here, and I hope you guys can understand this. That yes, I agree. It's really easy to say this. It's really easy to say, become free of the unnecessary fears and anxiety, and you're like, oh, done. I'm free. I didn't know it was that easy. No, it's
Yes.
not that easy because you spend your whole life uh being being fearful, having anxiety. How do you get past it? And I'm not talking about those people who it's severe anxiety and they need professional help. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the average person, the idea that we build mountains out of molehills, right?
Right.
So what I liken it to is this is Amazon, which has its wonderful pluses and incredible minuses. It's so easy to buy stuff, right? And get it delivered immediately and you
Yes.
have it, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Ma-
Right. And so I find that, and between some stores that I buy something at, right, where uh you buy something, and for me, it's been like, oh, I don't want to return this. I don't want to go through the hassle of returning it. Oh God, I can't believe this. I have this, and it's that negative feeling that I have in me that I'm never going to wear this. I can't believe I bought it. Buyer's remorse, partially buyer's remorse,
Mm.
partially is it's like it looked good in the store, and now I'm home. It doesn't look good. I don't
Mhm.
like it. It doesn't fit right. It's not comfortable. Whatever. Or it's a tool or something that I buy, right? And I'm like, it didn't work like it worked in the commercial, right? And so what happens? I throw it up on the bench, I shove it in a drawer, something like that, and forget about it. Then one day, I said, you know what? I'm going to return this, right? I'm just going to, why am I suffering for it? And I went and I just returned it. I took the effort to fight the thing that was causing me the pain. I took the extra effort that I said, oh, this is just not worth the effort. It's a struggle to do this, right? And I took the effort and just returned it. And they said, okay, thank you. And I was like, that's it? That's all I had to do? I just had to take that one extra step and just here it is. And now that anxiety that I was getting, that frustration I was getting it's just gone. You're going to give me my money back and I don't have that anymore. Okay. And it's a very oversimplified way of saying it. It's the same thing. If something is bothering me tomorrow, something I'm looking forward to, something that somebody's going to say, you should be very scared. You should be, fearful. You should be angry. You should, anything. And I sit here and I'm going, no, I'm just gonna get rid of it because I don't have any control over it. Right? I want to, that initial anxiety or fear I get, I'm going to return it. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to carry it with me because I don't have any room for that. My drawers are filled with stuff I haven't returned yet, right? And so what I want to do is I just want to get rid of it because I would rather spend those few moments feeling gratitude, looking for opportunities, surrounding myself with beautiful people, looking at my wife smile. Okay, anything. I would rather spend all my moments doing things like that than thinking about what might happen that's negative in the future. Okay. And so I look upon that is that every once in a while, when you got something like that that's saying, oh my God, this is going to be terrible, pick it up, return it. Okay. You just press the buttons on Amazon. They'll send you a return card and you say, here, send my problems away. Okay. And I think that's one of the things is just do this. And the first time you do it, you're a little surprised. You're like, it can't work that easy. Like what just happened? But then you do it again and again, you suddenly go, this is incredible. Because then what you start doing is just like this. Now I'm not afraid to buy anything because if it doesn't work, I can return it. And now my life is the same thing. I'm not afraid to try anything because if it doesn't work, I can return it. I can be done with it. Right. Because I'm not going to allow that stuff, those little mistakes or the fear of a potential mistake weigh down on my shoulders. I can just return it. I can get rid of it. It's off my shoulders. It's gone. And I think with practice, I will continue to return more things to Amazon, more things to Kohl's and all these other stores that I buy frivolous items from. But I will not only do that, but I will continue to do those things that haunt me, that scare me, or try to scare me, try to haunt me, try to give me anxiety. I'm like, no, you're not having it. I have limited amount of time, and I would rather spend it finding a reason to laugh than anything else. So you ask how to do it. Send it back to Amazon. That's how you do it.
Hey, and the show is over.
You like that,
We
right?
didn't have any bacon for you today, and we've crafted the ultimate Amazon
There you go. That's the solution.
metaphor,
The Amazon
and he knows
solution.
the metaphors away to my heart. So,
Well, you know what? We're going to take a momentary break, though, Kristi, and we will be right back. I'm setting up these little sponsorship things right here, but we will be right back. So please don't go away. We're still going. We are going to have bacon yet. We still have this.
Good,
The show's only halfway over.
I came here for
right?
bacon.
Yeah,
so.
this could have been a 2-hour show. I didn't know we were going to start talking about returning stuff. All right, so everyone, please give us a couple of moments. Just pay attention to these people who support our show, as well as some information on some other shows, and we'll be right back. Thank you so very much. And we are back. Thank you so very much for staying tuned in to 98.3 FM The Life. You're listening to Bacon Bits with Master Happiness. We're talking about one of the many journeys or the paths to happiness. This one is the philosophy of Epicurus, one of the great Greek philosophers who was a predecessor to many of the others, and he was definitely a predecessor to the Stoics. So I'm going to jump towards the a point I wanted to make to kind of separate, kind of define the differences here, so that Kristi's like going, you throw all this information at me at the last minute. And you have to understand, Kristi, I don't give any of my guests any too much forward information. I want to sound like the genius on the show. Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's fine. All right. So here's the difference here. I want you to think about this. Epicurus, to summarize it, Epicurus summarizes a relationship like this. He would say, how can I be content? How can I be content? That's what Epicurus would say. And that's kind of what we're talking about. A Stoic would ask, how can I remain steady? Not just how can I be content, but how can I remain steady throughout that, right? And be lacking for want. Aristotle took it to the next step and said, how can I flourish? Okay. How can I become more? The Master Happiness philosophy says, how can I cultivate joy that helps me and others flourish? Okay. So the idea is I want to flourish, but I want to help other people flourish. And I want all of that to point towards joy. So that's the difference there is how can I be content? How can I remain steady? How can I flourish? And how can I help other people flourish?
Okay.
That's the direction. That's what we want to do. And so I'm not trying to tell anyone, change all your thinking and follow Epicurus and just his teachings. No, because the next philosophers built upon that and changed it and said, I like this, but you forgot this. Let's build it into this. And then the next people turned it into something more. But I do tell people all the time, go out, spend a little bit of time, read about the Stoics, read about Aristotle, read about Plato and Socrates. Read about Marcus Aurelius, all these people, because you can pick up little bits and pieces,
Right.
And it's so much. We can't say that any one of them is 100% true, but I want you to read through these things and say what rings true to you, what makes the most amount of sense to you, what is the way that you can comfortably build a better life, a life that you're feeling good about, a life that is more lacking in anger and less fear and less anxiety, less sadness, right? What you want is you want to find happiness. You know that stuff's going to come. You don't have control over those things. You only have control over a couple of things, right? And so those things that you have control over, why not just use them wisely? Why spend time, like I always say, why spend time at the bottom of a hole? Why not spend that time climbing out of the hole? Okay. There is a time that you're going to sit at the bottom of the hole and you need to regain strength and you need to reconfigure your thinking and understand that life feels unfair. Give yourself that moment, but don't let that become your life. Give it that time it needs and then climb out of the hole because life is better outside of the hole all the time.
There's the next phrase. Life is better outside the hole.
Nice. Nice. You like that. There's a t-shirt, right?
Yes.
All right. So before we jump into the bacon here, Kristi, because I know you're hungry for some bacon.
Yes.
There's a couple of things that I want to drive home. These are some other points about Epicurus and this type of training, but it means so much. It's so true modern day. And number one is anticipation beats ownership. Okay, anticipation. Think about
so like the thought about thinking about getting the thing and researching the
Yeah.
thing and like shopping for the thing
Look
is
at our new
better than
phones.
having the thing.
Look at our new phones, right?
I'm really happy about.
Oh, I'm sure you're happy about
there's
it.
some things that it's like it sounds so much better. Have you talked to someone on the phone on this? It's like, or even on speaker. Well, you like 100% talk on speaker. It sounds so much better. Like I keep finding things that make me happy.
Right. Well, good. I'm glad. No. It's great. I don't mean to say to down the phone or anything like that, but the idea, the anticipation, and maybe the phone for you was not as big of a deal.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't thinking about it in anticipation too much. So, but I get what you're saying. This might not have been the prime example for me.
Right.
But yes, sometimes
you look forward to the thing,
the whole build up, and then there's a lot of things. It could be a build up to a trip, and then you don't enjoy the trip,
or the trip is like, the trip is okay, right? You know, I almost want to hear the stories about the planning of the trip and what you had to do. Sometimes more than the trip. I have some people going, "Oh, I just went on this amazing trip. Do you want to see the pictures?" No, I don't really want to see the pictures. I don't need to see the pictures.
It's different than going on the trip. Are you saying you don't? I don't want to see other people's pictures from their trips necessarily.
Right.
There, some people, yes, people very close to me. If they have a story to tell with it, yes, I do want to see it.
Yes.
But you just said like you don't want to go on the trip. Do you just not want to see other people?
No. I'll go on the trip, but I like the road trip. Okay. Like I just went.
You're more of a road trip.
Yeah.
Like the pain of a road trip person.
Yeah, exactly. Like with my brothers and I, when we go somewhere and we celebrate, sometimes the idea of, we were talking about, we should go to New Orleans, right? And we're like, how long would it take us to drive there? Oh, it's 2 days to drive there. Spend the 1 day there, get back in the car and drive 2 days back.
You're game for that.
I know.
And not many people are.
My brothers are like, no, we're not doing that. But to me, it's because it's about the trip. It's the adventure. It's not necessarily the journey there is more exciting than the being there. Okay.
It
and
totally
sometimes,
can
not
be.
all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the number 2 here after that is we buy stories, not products. Okay.
Well, we're both in marketing. So
yes,
I have
exactly
to say that yes. And we, meaning you and I,
we sell stories.
Everyone,
we sell stories.
We build the stories. We sell the stories. We rely on that concept.
And you think about this: people who buy sports cars are buying freedom, right? People who are buying a luxury watch are buying accomplishment. They want to show this off. People are buying a new home. They're buying security, maybe a gym membership. They're buying hope. Okay. All right. Whatever it is, it's the idea that we're buying stories. We're buying what we're going to get out of it, not just the product. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and again, that it is part of what we do.
Exactly. and the reason it works is because that's how people buy it. Right.
It's like I say, people judge a book by its cover. You can't get rid of that. And it actually is a huge portion of my job. And we just like that. Yes, it is just innate in people. We love the story, and that, I mean, but that's, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That we want to have the story. So
right. So number 3 here is novelty wears off. Okay. It's called the hedonic adaptation. All right. And this idea that the best way to illustrate it is when they talk about someone who wins a bunch of money on the lottery. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. But it's over a certain period of time, so many months, or all of a sudden it's like my life is back to normal. Like now I live at that level and I'm still not happy, because if you're chasing after money to be happy, you will never have enough money.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I was just looking at a list that came up on Instagram of like the wealthiest people in the world. And they had like Elon Musk as $940 billion or something like that, just about to be the first trillionaire. Right. And it's about 20 or so people. And the last one on the list is Bill Gates. And he's got like 140 billion. Right. And I looked at him, 140 billion. Look at the rest of these people. And I wonder if he looks at it going, oh, it's just not enough. How come I'm not higher up the list? But you think for anyone else, here's 140 billion. I think I could buy some happiness, at least rent happiness, right? But in other words, there's always going to be someone who has more. No matter what you want, there was always more. And so you live at that level, okay? And then it becomes ordinary. So you have to find something different to find happiness, okay? Number 4 here is some purchases meet real needs, and this is important to
Yes.
understand.
Mhm.
Okay, but it's important for us to take a look at these needs, right, and say what is the value of the needs, right? So there are sometimes we buy experiences, right, and
Mhm.
those are things that we need. We need those experiences. We might buy tools, we might buy gifts,
Mhm.
but it's not just the thing, it's the tools we're buying is building competence. What are we doing with the tools? We're fixing something. It's self-confidence when we have our own tools. When we're buying gifts, it's creating a connection, it's creating generosity. There's more to it. It's the gift itself is not giving us happiness. Buying a gift to give someone is not giving me happiness. It's what it represents.
Mhm.
And I think the more we concentrate on that, it doesn't have to be a bigger gift, doesn't mean I'm more generous. Okay. Finding the right gift, the gift that makes the person smile, is more important than a more expensive gift.
Sure.
Right. And that's what's important. And sometimes all the gift a person needs is to see your face, a
Uh-huh.
phone call.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now the other thing is we mix up pleasure and happiness. Okay. So
Okay. Yeah.
all right. And so I want to lay this out that we have kind of an idea of what's going through here. Okay. Pleasure is enjoying something.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Satisfaction is accomplishing something.
Okay.
All right. Happiness is appreciating something. Okay. And
Mhm.
finally, fulfillment is becoming someone. Fulfillment is becoming.
Oh, yeah, there's another T-shirt.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
a lot.
Right.
For,
Yeah. That's a lot for a t-shirt. But when
It's a
you
wall hanger.
right.
That's
But
what it is.
imagine this. It's this idea, pleasure comes and goes. This idea of pleasure is enjoying something. It comes and goes.
Yes.
But fulfillment can continue to grow with you.
Mhm.
So the idea here is when we mix those words together, oh, this brings me pleasure. Understand that comes and goes. That's only going to be a short period of
Uh-huh.
time, right?
The
What?
thing gives you pleasure.
Right,
So
right.
like this philosophy is saying like, okay, you bought this thing, it's giving you pleasure,
Eating
but
an ice cream.
is it
Ice cream is right.
lasting?
Exactly. So eating an ice cream cone, give me pleasure for right now. I can't
Right.
continue to eat ice cream because eventually it's going to cause me pain, which is one of the first things he says try to avoid.
That's true. Yes.
Okay. So satisfaction is accomplishing something. Like, hey, let's say pleasure, going out and
I
having
learned how to make ice cream.
okay, there you go. I was going to go with this. I'm going to go out and have a great steak dinner. I'm going to really enjoy that. I find that pleasurable.
Right.
Satisfaction was I landed a big job, or I helped the client or whatever, got a bonus. So now I'm satisfied with that, and and how I'm celebrating it is with a pleasure, right? Happiness is appreciating. Happiness is being able to sit back and look at this and go, wow, I really appreciate all the effort and the time I put into this, the studying, the understanding in order to do this, to accomplish the thing my client needed, right? And then finally, fulfillment is becoming someone. I have grown into the person even greater than I thought I was going to be, because now I can not only help this person, but I can help so many other people.
Right.
And when you think about that whole line, what's more important? That part of me going, I've grown as an individual. I've helped this person. I can see that and I can grow into more, or having the steak dinner, right? Suddenly the steak dinner is still pleasurable, but it's not
Right.
as highlighted, right?
Right. Yes.
Oh, look at this. I told you, look at the time already. It's
Well, you got
7:47.
an enormous list
All
there.
right,
I
so we're
can't even,
jumping-
like,
We're jumping right into this. Are you ready, Kristi? The bacon.
finally.
Finally. All right. The reason this show is called Bacon Bits is because everything bacon touches becomes just a little bit better. We would have gotten to this sooner, but she just keeps yapping over there.
Oh gosh.
So we talk about adding a little bacon to happiness, or helping us define our way towards happiness with bacon. But of course, we are not talking about the bacon for chewing.
We're talking about the bacon for doing.
There you go. You got it. One of the few guests who get that right. So
I was here when it started.
There you go. There you go. All right. So the bacon framework here, the BACON that we're talking about here, that acronym, about we accomplish this, how we follow Epicurus's Epicuri, how would you say Epicurus's attitude, his idea here is this:
B. We're gonna call him
Epi, big E. Okay, is be present. All right, think about this whole idea. Just be present. Find that moment. Stop chasing what's going to happen tomorrow and enjoy today, because tomorrow's going to come and you're going to chase the next day and the next day. So just spend some time right now. All right. So I want everyone at some point still tonight, or if you're listening to the recording, whatever the day is, put your phone down for one meal. Sit down with the family and look at each other and have
Or at
a
least
conversation.
someone in your family. If you can't have the whole family.
Yeah, have somebody.
Yes.
And put the phone down and have a conversation. That's a wonderful thing. And even better, take the meal and have the meal in the garden.
There,
Okay.
what I
You
thought
like
you were going to say, yeah.
All right. A is appreciate abundance. Okay. And I think this is really important, is that no matter what we have, it's easy for us to look in other places and say they have more, but take a moment and think about the things you have. Okay. So, Kristi, I'm going to throw a quiz question at you right now.
Okay.
All right. 2 questions. Number 1, what 3 things are you thankful for today?
It's like Thanksgiving.
That's right. Exactly. But you got to come up with 3. 3. Go. Boom.
I'm very thankful for my job.
Nice.
And I could go with the like general things, but
Whatever
I'm
you
gonna
like.
try to make more.
All right.
I'm thankful for my mobility.
Oh, I like that one. That's a good one.
That I might not be able to do all the things that I used to be able to do, but as I get older, I appreciate that more and more.
Okay.
And I am thankful for my friends.
Nice. I love it. Good ones. Those are awesome ones. So now here's the second question. You ready? Because there's a second
Yes.
question. All right.
I have to remember what I said.
All right. There. No. Who or what made your life better today? Who or what made your life better today?
Well, I have to go with Marty.
Oh, I was wondering how many questions I had asked before she gave me some.
No, in all honesty, you came into my life when a pivot in my life was critical, meaning that I needed to change direction. I had to, and there was very few people that would have been able to steer that ship in that direction. Really only you. I think
Aw.
because that is truly you have been a guiding light for me since the moment that I met you, and I couldn't imagine. Even though sometimes I feel like I probably don't seem like I'm soaking in all the things that you try to impress upon me. Without a doubt, you've changed my life more than anyone.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very. Are we playing this game today? So see who can make who cry.
Wow. Well, no, let's not play that game on the
let's
radio.
not. Switch the wrong there. There we
I
go.
don't know.
All right.
Oh.
No, we were good. We're
Okay,
good.
so the
I don't know.
second-
Yeah. So I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I'm not going to answer the questions because we're running out of time.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to go to
Start to
C.
talk to
Right. C is cultivate connection. Okay. It's really important that I love the fact that as our kids are getting older, we are spending more time together and just laughing together and smiling together and finding what each of us finds amusing and what each of us finds interesting. So I love that. But the question I've got for everyone out there is, look for people in your life who bring you joy. It could be a spouse, it could be a member of the family, it could be a friend, whatever it was. And today I want everyone to do this. Reach out to one person, just a person you haven't talked to in a while, and just check in. All right. Just check in with somebody. Do this occasionally. I did this thing during COVID, and I feel bad because I should do it more often. It's the idea of spin the dial and share a smile, where you take your phone, your contact list, and you spin through it a few times, and wherever it stops, you call that person. Because if their number's in there, there's a reason. So call them up and make them smile. And so today, to live up to this, so I would have something to say, I reached out to this kid, Jacob, that I know, who recently passed the bar. He's an attorney now. And I don't know if he wants me to share it, but I'm going to share it anyway. He failed the first time. Okay. And he was bothered by it, but he got enough of himself, he put himself together, went back at it and passed it. And so now he's a practicing attorney. And what's nice about it is a while ago, I did a little bit of life coaching with him. I just talked with him, chatted with him, trying to get him to smile all the time. And so I haven't talked to him in a while. And so I just reached out to him just to see how he's doing. And he's having a great day. He smiled. He sent me a text saying that, he really appreciated me reaching out to him. He talked to me a little bit about what he's got going on in his life. And it's just amazing to know the guy that I ran into a few years ago compared to the young man that he is now today is amazing. And if I had anything to do with it, then I'm very, very proud of myself. I'm able to help cultivate other individuals. Okay. So that's C, cultivate connections. O is going to be own your choices. Okay. And this really gets into this. I like that nod you got going on over there. Is that what ends up happening? It's too easy. And I do this a lot when I'm doing sales training with people. I always ask the question of, when you got the no from somebody, what could you have done different? And I sometimes get people, nothing. That person was never going to buy. And I'm like, okay, that's one side of the story. There's always more than one side of the story. What could you have done different? Own your part of the story. And it's not just in sales, it's in life, it's in everything. The husband and wife argue. It is not just one person, right? It's both of them share that. If there's a disappointment between two people, two friends, a husband and wife, whatever, a parent and a child, if there's disappointment, both of them had something to do with it. So own your choices, own the things that you did. What's your participation in that? Okay. And then N is the commandment right now. Now that you've learned to be present, to appreciate abundance, to cultivate connection, and to own your choices, N is now grow. Just go out there and grow. You know how to do this. You know how to try it. You are going to stumble and fall. You are going to fail. You are going to skin your knee. You're going to bruise your heart. You are going to cry sometimes, but fight for it because you deserve a happy life. You can get a happier life by sharing that with other people. I have an incredibly happy life because I know every day I get to see her. Okay. And every day I also get an opportunity to make her smile. Okay. And so anytime I can do that, anytime I can share what I can give to the world, it's a better day. That's how I find happiness. That's how I master happiness. So I don't want you all to suddenly turn out and say, well, now we're going to follow all the teachings of Epicurus. I don't necessarily want you to do that, but I want you to take some of this to heart and think about this. Epicurus reminds us to enjoy enough. All right. To enjoy enough. That despair, anxiety comes from wanting things that are beyond us. Right. Master happiness reminds us to become more. Build ourselves from the inside, become the best version of ourselves. And we do that partially by accepting enough, understanding this is what it is, and we become a better version of ourselves. I can say wholeheartedly that sometimes I wish I could go back into time, those times of my brother and I sleeping in that dining room, making my father giggle and laugh like that. Those were special times, and that was enough. I didn't need more to bring real joy to me. And I have more than enough with this woman next to me. So, Kristi, you knew nothing about Epicurus as we came in today. So
Right.
I'm going to throw it back to you. I want you to end the show a little bit. What's the big thing you learned today? What's your takeaway?
That even though we have these great philosophers that we've studied and written books about, and people, spend years and degrees learning about, that really we have evolved to a much better philosophy, and that is what Master Happiness has brought to us. And look at that! We even dictated the and showed the progression and how it is built upon these philosophies. So how can we possibly not just follow that?
I just gave her the write up so she'd see if she'd see it.
Again,
Yeah.
Epicurus asks, how can I be content? The Stoics asked, how can I remain steady? Just steady. Aristotle asks, how can I flourish? Which is a great way. I would say that's a better moving up. It's better. But yet, Master Happiness has improved it tenfold. How can I cultivate joy that helps me and others to flourish? So we're not just ending with our improvement, but we're improving others and the world.
I love it. Wow. What an incredible ending. Thank you so very much. Thank you all so very much for listening to this episode. If you missed any part of this, just give me a couple of days to get the episode up there on the recording. Follow us on our YouTube channel, which is the Master Happiness. find Bacon Bits with Master Happiness. Look for it anywhere, but also then listen to it anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thank you so very much, Kristi, for being part of my life and being part of today's show.
You're welcome.
You're so professional all of a sudden. All right. Love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.